Josm. First of all, the Josm is one of the editors which you use to edit the OpenStreetMap. Basically, there are several editors, but they will be focusing on Josm. There is ID editor, we have Wrap ID editor also. There are so many editors, but today we'll be focusing on Josm, which is one of the good editors, which ensures that there is no data quality issues when you are trying to do mapping or send. So maybe I can share my screen. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So for those who don't have Josm, you just type Josm download, then you'll be able to see the window you'll be using to download Josm. So you'll come to this first website whereby it's Josm download OpenStreetMap. Then there are different setups based on depending on your operating system. We have Windows system, we have Apple, we have Ubuntu, different. But you download based on the operating system which you have based on your PC. So if you have Windows, basically I know most of us have Windows, so you can just download the JOSM setup for the Windows operating system. So you can just download this one, then you install the same way you install the other softwares. Previously, you were supposed to previously when installing JOSM, you were installing the JDK, but nowadays it's possible to install JOSM on standalone, and it functions perfectly. So for those who don't have, you can just go and download that setup, then maybe you can install. Then after installing, there are some setups which you have to do on your JSON so that you may connect with your OpenStreetMap account. So maybe I will share the screen for the JSON to show you the setups which you will make to ensure that your account is linked with the JSON software. So maybe I'll share the JOSM, my JOSM. Let me share my JOSM. So after you have downloaded your JOSM setup and installed that JOSM, you'll come over here. After running your account as administrator, maybe the way you normally run other accounts, it will come in this form. So for you, you'll come in edit tab, then you go to preferences. After going to preferences, there are several tabs. You will just go to OSM server. In OSM server, you will use basic authentication whereby you will put your OSM username. So you will input your OSM username over there. Then you also input your OSM password over there. For you to use JOSM, first of all, you should have the OSM account. So if you don't have the OSM account, you have to create an OSM account, and I hope most of us have the OSM account. So after putting your OSM account and your OSM username and your password, you'll click OK. Then after that, maybe let me just go edit preferences, OSM server, use basic authentication. You input your OSM username, your password. Then that's okay. Then you go to remote control. What remote control does, it ensures that your JOSM software account is JOSM software is linked to the your OSM account. So you enable your remote control over here, so that when you are trying to do edit, on your Josm account, those edits are linked to your account. So you enable the remote control over here. I think those are the basic things which you have to do for your Josm. And then after that, since we'll be doing basically building digitization, you'll have to install some several plugins. And for the plugins, you'll come over here again. Maybe you'll come over here for the plugins. Then for the plugins, you'll have to search for the plugin which you'd like to be using. For example, maybe you'd like to use your building plugin. Basically, today I'll be just teaching you based on how maybe to on how you'll be digitizing buildings. So you search buildings. Since I have already installed my building, you can see over here it has already been ticked. So for those who have not installed, you just come over here, you tick that one, then you say okay. It will download the building plugin if you do not have the building plugin. Then basically maybe let me also there are some several map style settings which will have also to set to ensure that the edits which you are making to the OSM they don't have errors so that they can be flagged. So for those map style, they are called map paint styles. So you'll come over here to map paint styles. And for the map paint styles, basically you can just tick the inline validation and missing maps. That's a youth mappers validation. In my case, I have two here. If in my case, I have installed these ones. In your case, if you don't have them, you can just come over here in this side. Maybe you can search the inline validation if you don't have inline validation. You can just search it over here, you tick, and then you'll just move it to add selected available styles to the list of the active layers. So just add it and it comes over here to the active styles. What map paint styles does, it ensures that the edits you are making, maybe for example you have made some errors, maybe some buildings are overlapping or some buildings are sharing nodes. Those errors are just flagged off before you upload to the OSM server. Maybe I just show an example when trying to do some edits. Maybe since I have already set up my Josm account and everything is okay, maybe we can go to Task Key Manager and show you how you can start digitizing by selecting some tasks from the OSM. Or maybe before I just go there, maybe I can show you how you can just directly edit in Josm without going to the OSM account, your OSM account in the browser. So if you want to digitize a certain area, just come over here. Download map data from a server of your choice. So you come over here, and this one loads in any area maybe where you would like to digitize. So you can just zoom out or you can see the whole world over here. So maybe you are interested in a certain part in Kenya. Maybe you can zoom to that certain part in Kenya. Maybe let's go to Nyeri. Then you left click your button to select left click your mouse to select a certain area. If the area you're trying to download is too big, there will be an error which is just shown. You can see over here, download area too large will probably be rejected by the server. So maybe you can reduce your area to a small area maybe. Let's go with this area maybe. So you start downloading the data. So after you have downloaded the data, you can see the area which you have downloaded is over here, but it appears to be black somewhere. Maybe it appears in this format because I have not set my imagery. So for the imagery, I can just come over here for the imagery. Maybe you can select Bing imagery. So you can see your area is loaded perfectly. So from there, then you can zoom to what you would like to digitize. You can see some people have done some edits over there. So you can do edit based on what you would like to do. Maybe if you want to digitize buildings, you digitize buildings. If you want to digitize roads, you digitize roads. That's an example on how you can be loading directly from the OSM. So that was just a basic startup on how you can load your data. And here is Josm after opening. So in this case, you have the drawing panel. Maybe we have different tools which you can use to edit. So this one is for drawing the nodes. This one is for I'll just take you through the most important ones. This one is for extruding. I'll show you how it functions. And this one is the building plugin which we have installed. And also maybe I can, before we go on further, there is another uh, plugin which is very important because it ensures that you are making you have many functionalities which you can use when making edits in the OSM. Maybe you can go back again to the edit tool. The edit, you go to preferences, then you can go to plugins, and for the plugins you can search utils, util, util plugin to this one. So you can search and you can download. You search and you download. So that is the util plugin. And also I also forgot another plugin which is very important and also ensures that you can make more many edits in a go. So we have the map with AI plugin also. So you can just search map with AI plugin. So it's over here. So map with AI plugin. So you can just tick it, then you download. You just click OK button over there, then it downloads perfectly. Therefore, and also maybe some plugins they need you to restart your Josm for them to install perfectly. So maybe if they are telling you to restart your Josm, it's okay. And also we have another plugin, the Mapatona plugin. Mapatona plugin ensures that you can do batch building at a go. Mapatona. Mapatona plugin, it's like this one. So you just search it, you tick it over here, then you click OK. It installed perfectly. So those are just the most of the important plugins which you have to install. So after you have installed the plugins and then you have loaded your imagery, maybe you are interested in your area, maybe in your area, and that area has not been put in the Autoskin Manager. Since Autoskin Manager focuses on basically most of the projects which are just conducted by the humanitarian organization. So maybe you would like to digitize in your area, but you don't have the task which you are mapping perfectly. You can just load it in that way, and then you start digitizing. And also you have realized that the area which I have loaded has not been arched. You can see this area has been arched. The area which will not be digitizing has been arched. You can see in this area, but in the area which I have loaded, I'm supposed to be digitizing, is perfectly loaded. There's nothing, so you can just perfectly start digitizing. So let me show you maybe on how you. I think in this area we have map with the eye building footprints. Maybe let me check if we have some. So after you have added the plugin map with AI, you come over here in data. So you come to data, you go to map with AI, then map with AI, download data. Or short form, you can use Control R, and it will download that data in that area of your which you have loaded. So you can go to download data. So map with the AI contains building footprints, or roads which have been detected using some AI algorithms. The roads which are in this case, I think they were provided by the Facebook, but for the building, I think they belong to the Microsoft organization. So they came up with algorithms which are very important to for delineating and detecting the building footprints which have not been already added to the OpenStreetMap. So you can see that perfectly that the buildings which have not been added in the OpenStreetMap, they are in the map with the AI dataset. So you can see they are here. But for the buildings which have already been added in the OpenStreetMap, you can see they have not been detected. They just appear in that area. So if you want to use the map with the AI data to add it to the OpenStreetMap, you have to select. You can just select. You can see some buildings have been